My name is Frank Christensen, and I'm the coordinator of officials for IFAF in Europe. This is the bullet training tape for back judges on punts on Cruiser 5. But keep in mind, this is the baseline, so it's up to you to add your own personal flavor to add more bullets to these lists. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you find it useful. So for the purposes of this training tape, we're going to pretend that the deep wings aren't there, since in a Crew 5 they wouldn't be there. So we're just going to focus on the back judge, and initially his first bullet there is count Team B. Obviously we need to count the receiving team on punts, and this is typically where we get into trouble, just because there is so much substitution going in and out, and they're lining up over such a vast area. It's really important to count Team B. And for the back judge to communicate this with your line judge, and then we're getting into position. Now here the back judge would line up behind the punt returner. In a Crew of 5 we try to line up opposite of the line judge whenever possible, simply because the idea is that the line judge comes down the field to help out a little quicker than the linesman. So whenever possible, cover your punt returner from, in this case, from away from the camera, whenever that's possible, and then identify the number of the returner, just so that we know who he is, and if somebody blocks, after a signal was given, we know that that was the guy, and also identify the color of his jersey, so that we know if the ball is touched by white. Once mayhem starts, now the ball is it's legal for the kicking team to recover the ball. And now the ball is snapped, so first thing we do is we identify the direction of the kick, just so that we know where it's going, and then the world becomes really small. Nothing else exists except for the returner. We want to make sure that we see his signals, and that we have a clean catch, because here we don't have a clean catch. Now we have a touch by white, which means that black can legally recover. So instead of blocks during the return, we're still focusing in on the catch, and making sure that we know exactly who has the ball. And then after it dies, stop the clock. In this case, it's also a good idea to signal who has the ball, to do our dead ball coverage, and finally, communicate with the referee, to the referee, who has the ball. Different play, but same bullets. So we're counting Team B a number of times, just to make sure we get into position, preferably opposite of the line judge, and then we identify the return player's number and his jersey color, so that we know what's what once chaos starts and everybody's running in and out. And then the ball is snapped, and the ball is kicked, and right there we notice the direction of the kick. Typically the returner can also help us with that, but not always. Sometimes they want to trick the kicking team, so we want to just based on the kick know where, in which vicinity it's going to land, and once we know that, we're zooming in on the returner. We want to make sure that we get the kick, the catch, and we have that right here. So once that happens, now we start looking at blocks. The returner is not super important, so blocks are more important. And after the ball is dead, we stop the clock. We have dead ball coverage, making sure that everybody separates. And once that happens, we can get ready for the next play.